Number 10. Marking the era of Chrysler's aerodynamic body designs, the Plymouth Superbird was a special NASCAR homologated model created to beat the Ford Torino Talladega on oval tracks. The Superbird shared the B-body platform with its more refined sibling, the Roadrunner. Featuring a signature pointed nose cone, the Superbird boasted an impressively low drag coefficient of just 0.28, allowing it to reach supercar-level speeds. Most Superbirds came equipped with the 440 Super Commando V8 engine. However, only 135 customers opted for the 426 HEMI, which enabled the winged Plymouth race car to reach 200 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest muscle cars of the 1970s and a source of safety concerns in motorsport at the time. Number 9. The Formula S version of the 1969 Plymouth Barracuda added several performance features, most notably the 383 cubic inches V8 engine, cleverly branded as the Super Commando. This power plant included a forged steel crankshaft, cast aluminum pistons, and a windage tray to reduce power loss. Plymouth also fitted heavy-duty shocks and suspension to improve the Barracuda's handling. Chrome dual exhaust tips extended from the rear, while red streak tires wrapped around stylish Formula S wheels. The fiberglass fender badges and Formula S emblem on the rear bumper made it clear to onlookers that this was no ordinary Barracuda. Very few customers ordered the Barracuda with the Formula S package, and even fewer combined it with a convertible body and 4-speed manual transmission. Number 8. The Belvedere was essentially Plymouth's version of the Dodge Coronet. The internal battle within Chrysler for NHRA superstock dominance led to the creation of the high-performance, drag-ready Belvedere 2 RO23. Like other track-special Mopars, the RO23 was a stripped-down version of the production model. Anything that added weight and didn't contribute to performance was removed. That included the radio, sound deadening, and even hubcaps. As a result, the big-bodied muscle car weighed just 3,051 pounds. Its HEMI engine featured heavy-duty internals, and a 4.88-to-1 sure-grip rear axle ensured the engine stayed in its optimal power band. Only 17 of the 55 RO23 units were equipped with the AA33 4-speed manual transmission. Number 7. There was nothing particularly special about the Plymouth Roadrunner. Early models had simple interiors with bench seats and sometimes no carpeting. Furthermore, Plymouth limited the number of optional accessories to keep costs low. Despite its simplicity, the Roadrunner was quite fast, especially when equipped with the HEMI engine. The 1971 Roadrunner featured a more rounded body design, significantly improving its appearance and aerodynamics. Racing legend Richard Petty won the 1971 Daytona 500 and 21 other races that year in a race-prepped Roadrunner. Only 28 1971 Roadrunners were built with the HEMI V8 engine and 4-speed manual transmission, making them some of the rarest Mopars ever produced.
$500,000 HEMI Roadrunner, JK. You know, as expected, the historical significance and the condition.
Number 6. Back in 1968, the Plymouth Barracuda BO29 Superstock was the equivalent of today's Dodge SRT Demon 170. This classic Mopar, based on the second-generation Barracuda, used the smaller A-body platform compared to the larger B-body Mopars. Chrysler built the BO29 Superstock in collaboration with Hearst Performance. Compared to a standard Barracuda, the Superstock featured a redesigned chassis, lightweight body components, heavy-duty rear suspension, and a specially tuned HEMI V8 engine. Other modifications included fiberglass fenders and acid-dipped steel doors. All these enhancements allowed the Barracuda BO29 Superstock to conquer the quarter-mile in just 10 seconds. Most experts agree that only 50 units were made, although some sources claim the number could be as high as 70. Number 5. By 1971, the writing was on the wall. The muscle car era was nearing its end, and the days of high-powered street machines were numbered. Nevertheless, models like the HEMI-powered Plymouth GTX continued to thrive, retaining their strength and performance. Still based on Chrysler's B-body platform, the 1971 GTX retained its elegance with a sleek body and loop-style grille. Though marketed as a gentleman's muscle car, the GTX looked aggressive and drove like hell thanks to the legendary 426 cubic inches HEMI engine, which was still conservatively rated at the time. The larger 440 cubic inches V8 remained the base engine for the GTX, and most of the 2,942 units built that year were equipped with it, as the HEMI was an expensive $884 upgrade. Number 4. Some cars are defined by their engine, and none more so than the 1970 Plymouth HEMI Cuda. The fact that people refer to it as the HEMI Cuda instead of simply Barracuda says it all. This 2-year model was highly desirable, especially in the hardtop version, which sold better than the convertible. In 1970, only 5.1% of all Cudas were convertibles, and by 1971, that number dropped below 2%. Even fewer were equipped with the HEMI V8. Of the 2,793 convertible Cudas produced, only 21 were fitted with the HEMI engine, 14 in 1970 and 7 in 1971, making them among the rarest and most collectible Mopars of all time. 5 HEMI Cuda convertibles are believed to have been exported overseas. In 2021, a 1971 HEMI Cuda convertible went to auction and received a bid of $4.8 million. Still not enough to convince the owner to sell. Number 3. In 1962, Plymouth downsized the Belvedere and Fury to target the mid-size segment. By 1965, the Fury returned to the full-size class and a new name emerged, the Plymouth Satellite. However, after just 2 years, the Satellite was replaced by the GTX. Like the Satellite, the GTX was only available in 2-door body styles and came exclusively with V8 engines. However, the key difference was that the GTX only offered big block engines. The standard powertrain was the RB 440 cubic inches engine producing 375 horsepower, with the only upgrade being the legendary Elephant 426 HEMI engine, delivering 425 horsepower. The GTX was intended to be the perfect blend of style and performance, with a signature grille and rear fascia, chrome pit stop gas cap, optional racing stripes, and heavy-duty suspension. In 1967, over 12,000 GTXs were produced, but only 720 were equipped with the HEMI engine. Among them, just 17 were convertibles, 10 with the Torque Flight automatic and 7 with a 4-speed manual, making them extremely rare American muscle cars. Number 2. Produced from 1970 to 1974, the third-generation Plymouth Barracuda gave birth to some of the rarest muscle cars of the golden era. While the 1970 to 1971 HEMI convertibles are now worth millions, there is one Cuda even rarer and more unique, the 1970 Rapid Transit System Cuda. Only 4 were created for the Rapid Transit System Caravan, a show car tour that traveled across the U.S. from 1970 to 1971. These were not mass production vehicles. The RTS Cuda was a custom creation designed by Harry Bradley, the mind behind the original Hot Wheels cars, and built by Chuck Miller, inspired by the Sonic Cuda dragster. Featuring wild paint schemes, a beak-style front end, and side-exit exhausts, the RTS Cuda made a bold statement. Under the hood was a 440 cubic inches V8 producing 390 horsepower and 490 pounds of torque. In 2023, a fully restored RTS Cuda was sold for as much as $2.2 million, proof of its legendary status. Number 1. The world's only 4-door Plymouth Barracuda is a one-off masterpiece, built by the late Dave Walden, founder of ECS Automotive Concepts. Inspired by the 1970 E-body design, Walden handcrafted a completely new steel body, creating a unique roofline and door frame design never seen before. Under the hood lies a 340 cubic inches E55 V8 engine, delivering 275 horsepower, paired with an A727 TorqueFlite automatic transmission, power steering, and front disc brakes. The car wears a striking FE5 Rally Red exterior with a black vinyl top, chrome 5-spoke wheels, and redline tires, giving it a strong vintage presence. Inside, the black interior features a color-matched theme and a front bench seat with a center armrest. This is a one-of-a-kind custom Barracuda with an estimated value of up to $300,000. Owning it, you'll need both passion and luck.